Hey guys, welcome to your Unit 4 review. Let's start in Europe. In Europe, the church was corrupt, and practices such as the sale of indulgences caused theological disagreements to surface. This led certain groups of people to be unhappy with the church and wanting to reform it. For example, Martin Luther, remember the 95 Theses? John Calvin and the Huguenots, and John Wycliffe and the Lollards all played a role in the process known as the Protestant Reformation, where Reformation groups rejected the teachings and the practices of the Roman Catholic Church. The church was like, haha, no. You see, it still had a lot of power in Europe, and it wasn't just going to lose it to Reformation groups, so it started the Counter-Reformation, with the Inquisition, the Jesuits, and the Council of Trent, as a way to keep control. All of this religious conflict led to the final great religious war between Catholics and Protestants called the 30 Years' War. The war culminated in the Peace of Westphalia, which allowed each area of the Holy Roman Empire to be either Roman Catholic, Lutheran, or Calvinist. This resulted in a new religious map of Europe. Now let's check out the Americas. Europeans began to explore and colonize the Americas because they wanted to find riches. Italian monopoly on trade encouraged search for new trade routes. They wanted to convert natives to Christianity, and they had the ability to do so with new technology, such as the magnetic compass or the Portuguese caravel. The connection of the Eastern and Western Hemisphere resulted in the Columbian Exchange, where disease, livestock, and crops were exchanged. There was an increase in population in Afro-Eurasia due to the introduction of nutritious crops such as potatoes, but a decrease in population in the Americas, where diseases introduced by Europeans ravaged indigenous populations. Let's check out what's going on in Russia real quick. Russia greatly expanded, and its peasant labor intensified, with the development of frontier settlements in the Russian Siberia with the help of Cossacks. Also, remember that guy Peter the Great? The guy who tried to westernize Russia, which was technologically behind. And now for Africa. So you know how the Europeans colonized the Americas? Well, now they needed someone to work on plantations for cash crops. Unfortunately, the Europeans decided to use Africans as slaves. Because African males were being taken as slaves, a demographic change was happening in Africa, where there was a greater number of women than men. This resulted in polygyny becoming more popular because there wasn't enough men for every woman to marry. When Africans were captured and shipped to the Americas as slaves, they took their culture with them. This resulted in new religions, food, and music being created in the Americas, all of which were influenced by African culture. And now to our gunpowder empires. Tamerlane was a Mongol Turkic ruler who set the stage for the rise of the gunpowder empires. While his conquests were violent, he encouraged the learning and the arts, trends typical of the later gunpowder empires. His empire collapsed due to an ineffective government. So, there was a constant source of conflict between the Ottomans and the Safavids. This was because in the Safavid Empire, Shah Ismail built a power base that denied legitimacy to any Sunni. The Ottoman Empire, the stronghold of Sunni Islam, naturally didn't like this. Meanwhile, the Mughal Empire prospered under Akbar the Great. Akbar was tolerant of all religions, and he encouraged the growth of a relatively new religion called Sikhism, which developed from Hinduism and Islamic mysticism known as Sufism. Meanwhile, in China, Zheng He expanded maritime activity by exploring the Indian Ocean region, which enhanced Chinese prestige. Also going on in China was the establishment of the Ming Dynasty by the Manchus. By adopting the Ming form of government and continuing to employ Ming officials, the Manchus pacified the Chinese population. They expanded the empire, and even Roman Catholic missionaries were tolerated, but not many Chinese converted. Okay guys, one more thing. In Japan, the Tokugawa shogunate tried to transform Japan from a feudal system to having central control with Hans. Japan would finally be centralized. Whew, we're done. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck. Bye!
Created using Powtoon.